Hey guys, welcome back to Back in Motion in San Diego. My name is Dr. Sean Golden, and today we're going to be talking about what Achilles tendonitis is, how you get it, and then in the next video we're going to talk about how you can treat it at home and what we do in the office to kind of speed up that process as well. So first to start off with, let's look at this muscle chart here and look at what's involved when we say Achilles tendonitis. On the outer part of the calf we have the gastroc muscle. If we were to take that off and look underneath it, we have an inner muscle called the soleus muscle. I'll show you on this smaller model here. The outer part is called the gastroc muscle. Inner part's called the soleus. The soleus is the bigger muscle, and it's a stronger muscle out of the two. Whenever we talk about an Achilles tear or Achilles tendonitis, almost all of the time it's involving the soleus muscle. The soleus muscle, pound for pound, is one of the biggest and strongest muscles in the body. So it's really, really important when it comes to Achilles tendonitis. The reason these two muscles matter so much is because we now know that when you're sedentary, when you sit for way too long every day, the muscles don't get looser. They actually get tighter, and even if they get smaller, usually the smaller comes with tighter. So they get shorter and shorter and shorter, and they tug on this tendon all day long. And that predisposes you to Achilles tearing, to Achilles tendonitis. And then kind of the other side of the coin is if you get up from being sedentary and you start new activity, especially explosive or really intensive running or anything where you're really putting a lot of demand on these tissues and they're not used to that, they haven't adapted to that, then that creates a ton of tugging force onto this tendon when these muscles are already shortened, and it can create some structural damage within the tissue here. Now, if you've had Achilles tendonitis for some time, you probably realize by now it's not one of those conditions that will just go away on its own. We see it all the time in the office here, and sometimes patients have had it for a year or two and still is just not getting any better. So it's not something that you can stretch or kind of rest away. You're going to have to do some work on the muscle and on the tendon to get this to repair itself. Now, first and foremost, what you want to do is loosen the muscles above the tendon. When these muscles get tight and stiff, I mean, we've had patients come in here and their calves just feel like rocks. So when they're that tight, it's putting such tension on this tendon that it can never really relax and heal itself. So that's going to be the primary first goal, is just to kind of loosen those muscles. After that, what we want to do is work on the tendon too with Graston therapy, with active release therapy, and even with cold laser therapy. All of these therapies combined do a really good job at changing the structure of this tissue back to normal, so that it's not one of those things where the problem goes away and then you start running again, it just comes right back. We want to make sure that this stays away for long term. Now, if you have Achilles tendonitis, or you're even just noticing just a little bit of tightness or pain in this area, you want to really be on guard with that, because that can also predispose you to some other conditions. When the calf muscles shorten and they stay tight, it can also predispose you to shin splints, which is on the side of the calf. And it can also predispose you to plantar fasciitis on the bottom, because the fascia, while the tendon will end right at the base of the calcaneus here, the fascia actually covers it all the way through and goes all the way to the bottom of the foot. So if you're yanking up on that tendon, you're also yanking up on that fascia. And it's something we just see all the time here. It's super common that someone will come in with either calf pain or Achilles pain, and then a few months later, if they didn't do anything to treat it, then they can end up with plantar fasciitis. It's not something that always happens, but it does predispose you to that. So that's it for this video. Check out the next video. Click the link in the description below me, that you can see how we actually treat Achilles tendonitis in the office, and things you can do at home to kind of help the process as well. All right, thanks for watching, guys.